Awesome. So is everyone familiar with agents? Have you guys used Rocky? Yeah? Okay.
All right.
Mateo over here built Rocky. Round of applause.
Give it up for him.
In 1 week also. Cool. So this is our agenda. We're going to go through why agents, why messaging, and then we're going to cover some product principles. And then we have, I think, 5 demos today from a bunch of builders in XMTP. And then, yeah, we'll talk a bit about how you can build with us and how you can get started. So Shane's going to kick us off with why agents.
Great. Thanks, Claudia. How we doing? Doing good? All right. I was actually saying to someone earlier, I usually hate event bots. I've been in messaging for way too long. And I built a lot of bots on top of Messenger and WhatsApp back in the day. My first company in '09 was acquired by BlackBerry. I worked on BBM. RIP, BBM.
It was a good product.
I loved BBM. It's a good reminder of how wrong you can be about needing a keyboard. But I think seeing what you did with the event agent was fantastic, and it split you out in different groups, and the mini apps and the agents working together, and it just feels like a whole new surface area. So for me, messaging, I mean, it's 50% of the usage of the internet is messaging apps. And the thing that I think we need to think about is what's different here. And what's different here is there's a native financial rail that's global. And money plus chat, to me, is the largest surface area to build things that we've seen in the last 10 years. And it's not even just about the agent. It's actually about mini apps too, and how it all works together. The agent is just the interface that is a better thing for you to use in groups, which is what we do all day. And I think when I think about it, the biggest opportunity is that these messaging apps have been so closed for 15 years. And so you can't build on top of iMessage. You can't build on top of WhatsApp. You can maybe build a little app that you can use inside of it. There's no access to money. So you have global messaging, you don't have money. And these closed platforms have been killing innovation for over a decade. And to me, the opportunity here to really go build on open platforms that combines the use case we use every day that everyone in the world understands with a thing that can take action. And from a word, from an emoji, from a reply, it can place a bet, it can send money to friends, it can do a prediction. And I was using Banker the other day, and there's 25 different people from 7 different countries. And I just said, hey, Banker, send everyone $10. And in the experience, it's kind of simple. Underneath the hood, I'm like, sending 7 different countries USDC in their local currency under the hood in 1 click to anywhere in the world instantly for free is one of those moments when you see it pop up on the screen and it literally went and built a smart contract that loads up money in every single person's wallet. That's the foundation to build shit that we've never even thought possible. And when I see things like that, WhatsApp can't do that. Venmo can't, you can't even send a Venmo to someone in Canada, let alone 7 different countries. And I think that foundation of secure chat, money, and agents, and actually we announced yesterday, if you go to xmtp.org/build-and-chat, agents now are connected to mini apps. And so you can make every mini app talk really easily with the new SDK. It's not about one or the other, it's how it all comes together to use in a group. And I'll end on, I think the most important thing about building agents when they can transact is it's not about agents that say more. The worst thing that happened with the agent world is they're so verbose and they never shut up. And they just keep talking. And they're so long-winded. But actually the magic, the design of things that can transact is the speed you go from a prompt, a reply, an emoji, or a message to the magic moment, and everything else is hidden from the user. And Banker's a good example. Bracky has it. I mean, I went in Bracky and, you literally, I think, placed a bet on an F1 race. In the middle of the race, the response back was that the F1 series of the positions would change because it started raining, so your prediction probably with the tires he's using is off. I have no fucking clue about F1. I don't even understand why, I have no idea. And I was like, I just bet on Verstappen because I heard he's cool. And I replied back and said, yes. And it literally went changed the whole thing, sold my position, put it in the other person that was the highest prediction market to, and like, I was just like blown away. And then he responded back with, okay, and put another 100 on this. And I responded with the handshake emoji, and the emoji places the bet. And when you see moments like that, I just want to encourage everyone to don't think about it as, oh, it's just agents versus mini. It's this experience where you spend every day with your friends. What's the fastest way you can go from prompt to magic? That's the game. It's not speak a lot. It's not a thing that can chat a lot. That's bots. Let's not build bots anymore. That was old, can't really understand context, can't keep it, This is about simplicity and doing things behind the scenes that makes a group experience with people magic. If you're with a group of 10 people and you're having dinner, you should be able to explain a use case, everyone joins, and have them all feel the experience and the magic in under a minute. And I think even under 10 seconds. That needs to be that quick. That needs to be the goal. Because when I'm in Nashville, and all of my friends are sports bettors. I don't really bet on sports. And they all do this. One guy has a DraftKings account on a VPN because it's illegal to do it. That guy's the money banker. He has a notes app. He then has a group chat because he doesn't want it in his iMessage chat. And then he's talking to all his friends. They're paying on Cash App, Venmo, Cash, people that ran out of money because they lost other bets or IOUs. And there's just like a whole list of things happening. And then they're talking all day. And then he goes back, he places a bet. They're all going to Google, trying to find the secret tips, trying to look at what's the right answer. Coming back, hey, oh shit, I want to place another bet. Okay, put it in the notes app, Venmo me more money, go over here, do this. Oh, the VPN's down, shit, I gotta put my VPN in Missouri now, great. Okay, and like, it's insane. That's literally what happens. And all of a sudden I have an experience where I'm talking about it, someone says something about it, I can do research about it, I can ask more questions about it. I can learn from someone else in the group doing something. I can observe others using the experience. There could be a mini app that pops up to see all of my past bets and whatever. And the fact that I can then say, you know what? Alcaraz US Open, $10,000. And then he says, actually, yeah, let's do that US Open too. And then 50 replies come in a group. I've never seen friction reduced that much. And for me, the last thing I'll say is when I see friction reduced that much, that can do something that unbelievable, and you can kill 8 apps with 1, that's where the magic lives. And it's really hard to do. Building agents is not easy. Messaging and agents are the single most, I would say, underestimated surface areas in technology. Everyone's like, I'll build a messaging app. Like, cool. And then you start, and it's really, really hard. Claudia knows. And then you go to agents, and you're like, I'll just do a little agent. But the agent needs to do the work for the user. Don't make the user do the work, right? What's this thing called? How to make agents that you can't stop talking to? Yeah. You know how to make them do that? Is shut the fuck up. The agent should stop talking. Go do the magic, and come back and make it happen. And the speed from prompt to magic moment is the game, not speak more. And I think that actually is one of those design philosophies that's really hard until you really get into building agents for a long time. Manage the complexity and coordinate all the systems and bring 8 apps together, and you have a way to look at a prediction market and go look information on Google and talk to ChatGPT and talk to a payments rail and see what the liquidity is and go across Kalshi and predictions and DraftKings and Polymarket and then bring back and say, this is the thing you should do. That's hard, but that's where the magic lives and that's where the money's at. And so I think this surface area is about mini apps, it's about agents, and it's about group chats, and it's about a global financial rail where anybody in the world can be in the same chat, and it doesn't matter where you live, the money works. And Telegram can't do that, iMessage can't do that, WhatsApp can't do that, because they don't have the native financial rail. And they have financial laws in every country that they can't turn it on. And there's a window here where they're all going to do it. They're going to turn on wallets for everybody in 5 years. They tried to do NFTs with Instagram. But there's a 5-year window of so much regulation that is the next messengers will get built, and the next social experiences will get built, and the agents are the new app, and chat will be the interface. And all of you can sit at dinner with your friends and family who don't understand what the fuck you do for a living, and they'll get it. Yeah, if there's any other apps that launch, all of your agents and mini apps work in those new apps. So anytime a new application launches on XMTP, it's fully portable. So more distribution, more apps. There's another major tier 1 app launching really soon. Another app that is someone here launching pretty soon. So I think you can look out for that. The cooler thing is that it follows you around. So the Bracky experience is a great one. My bets that I'm talking to Bracky, and I'm in a chat with 8 friends, I'm then going to a new group chat with 6 friends. But my bets with Bracky come with me. And so then I'm talking to those friends. I'm like, hey, look what I'm betting on over here. All of my stuff's there. And the fact that it like comes with you across surface areas because there's the same kind of, agent financial rail is a really cool, powerful experience. And so I'll just encourage all of us to think smaller to think bigger here. Build agents that actually do less talking to build better experiences, and make agents and mini apps work together seamlessly. And our goal with the new SDK is you can make any mini app talk. And so now you can go, anyone who's built a mini app, click, deploys an agent, and now you have distribution in group chat for that mini app. And now that mini app has retention. People can invoke that mini app. People can use replies and emojis and all these other things to make the digital experience great. And I think this combination of agents and mini apps and secure groups and money is just a playground to not be underestimated, because every single person in the world gets it. And if I'm a developer and I'm building an app, I want to be able to sit with my friends and show them the experience, and we all use it and they like it. And that's how shit really spreads. I think the idea that it all spreads in some magic internet way. The biggest consumer companies actually spread word of mouth with friends. And that's the opportunity of groups.
Awesome. Thanks, Shane. So now we're going to go through product principles for building agents in the Base app. We already have 10 amazing agents featured in the Base app. A lot of them are here. And yeah, just going to walk through, like, if you're interested in building, like, what you should keep in mind and like what we're seeing drive success for agents. So yeah, 4 principles here. The first one is like just making it really simple. Like, it should do one thing really well and be easy to understand. So like Bracky, sports betting, makes total sense. Squabble, play with friends, earn money, makes total sense. Byte, buy food on chain, use USDC, it's no fees. So yeah, just having like one clear value prop and really think to yourself, like, how would I explain this like to my mom or to my friends not in crypto? Like, would they use it? Would they understand it? And that's like a good guiding principle. The second thing is social. So like what we're seeing is that agents that work in group chats tend to perform the best. So we just had a fun time in our group chat, and like really designing your agent to be like easy to talk to, funny, things like that really go a long way. The third thing is rewarding. So something we think about on the Base app team a lot is reducing time to earn. So if your agent can help people earn money, like, you're so many miles ahead, and that's like a really good way to like build your agent for success. There's also non-monetary rewards, like just like social connection, like fun, like, so think broadly with that, but like in general, like monetary rewards do go a long way. And finally, the best agents are sticky. They're not designed for one-time use. They really like build a habit and like get people coming back day after day. So yeah, going a bit deeper into this, the first principle is just to make it frictionless. So the onboarding message is like the front door of your agent. So really recommend investing the most time here. I'm working with 20 agent teams right now, and like the most common feedback I give is to make the onboarding message more clear and more actionable. So Mamo did a really excellent job here with these quick select buttons, where it's like, hi, I'm Mamo, how can I help you? You click, I wanna get started. You learn a bit more, you get the context, and then I can just say, I wanna deposit USDC. And then you just say how much. So I barely had to type. It was like so easy. It really makes DeFi like way more intuitive and less scary. So yeah, there definitely are some agents that you want to type more if it's like a social agent or like a ChatGPT type of agent. But in general, if it's more transaction-based, I think making it more easy to use goes a long way, and that usually is less typing. Second is once you have that foundation done, really giving your agent personality is a good way to stand out. So your agent should have a presence. It should like make group chats more alive. And even in DMs, if your agent's just delightful to use, if it's polished, if it's funny, if it's kind to you, like, people will want to use it more and talk to it more. So once you have the foundations down, like, really recommend investing in like the tone and the polish, and like working with a designer or a marketing team to really like figure out the brand of your agent. Having these Easter eggs of humor can make your agent go viral more easily. Cool, and then on the rewarding front, so putting value front and center. Whatever your agent is uniquely gonna help them with should be super clear in the onboarding message, and minimizing time to earn. So the Flaunch team did a really excellent job here, where they show you like when you're launching a token, it's like you're going to split the earning fees with everyone in the group chat, and it's telling you how much you're going to earn. And then once you start earning, you actually find that out in the group chat as well. So I really like this like prominent focus on earning right in the chat. And this is also good because as people earn, they're going to keep using it. They're going to keep telling their friends, and it's going to be a really good growth loop for your product. Finally, as I mentioned, you don't want people to use your agent once. You want them to be long-time users. So really think about the end-to-end journey. Like, I'll use Mamo as an example. Like, let's say I stake USDC on Mamo. How am I going to come back? Like, how am I going to like keep like hearing about my earnings and like coming back to the app? So it's really good to think about like natural growth loops. This could be like daily challenges. This could be a leaderboard and streaks to like get people like into the game and like addicted to the app. And even like reminders and automations. Banker added like a good automation where you can like set limit orders or set price alerts, and that like notifies you every day. But yeah, Squabble also did an excellent job here where they have a leaderboard. So like once you play the game, I used to lose like every day when I played this. I'm like so motivated. Actually, I'm third place. I'm not doing too bad. I'm so motivated to come back and like climb the leaderboard. So I think like having that history and that competitive aspect really goes a long way. As you might have seen, agents are discoverable on the home feed and in the chat tab. We're also going to make it easy to add them to group chats directly, like coming next week, I'll say. And yeah, so it's a really good place to get distribution for your product in the base app. And what we're also seeing is that most agents also have a mini app. So if you're building a mini app, highly recommend also building an agent. It's pretty quick, pretty easy, and it's a low lift way to increase your distribution. And yeah, at Base, like we love building in the open. So like once you have your agent working, like show it to your friends, add it to group chats that you're in, like just get people talking about it and giving you feedback. Post demos on the Base app, post on X. And we also have an agent developers group that I can add anyone who's interested in, and that's a good place to connect other devs and get feedback. So our roadmap, coming up in the next few months, we're gonna add Markdown support for more UI customization, like links, bolding text, things like that. We're gonna add typing indicators, so it feels a bit more like ChatGPT or Claude. Nice. Yeah, it'll be great. And finally, we're very excited about like spend permissions, so you don't have to like approve every single transaction, and the agent can execute more autonomously. Cool, here's a link to the documentation if you need it. I can also send this in the chat, so no pressure to scan it. Cool, now we're gonna switch to demos. So I think Squabble is gonna kick us off. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Limone, base builder, mini app builder. I'm running Builder's Garden. We are a mini app development studio, but we also build agents. As you can see here, Squabble was part of the last Base Batch's messaging track, and it's Scrabble in real time with real money bets. And so the idea is that you can invite Squabble in the group chat. We already passed that moment, but you invite the agent, you ask the agent to set up a new game. You can set an optional buy-in of, I don't know, $1, $2, whatever. People join the lobby whenever everybody's staked, and they can stake from any chain with any token using Dymo. The game starts. So it's about, words with friends, but, everybody is placing on the board letters at the same time. So the main goal of the game is around scoring more points, of course, so placing more letters on the board. And at the end, the agent automatically distributes the pool amount to the winner. Of course, the agent is also keeping track of the state of the game, meaning that whenever somebody joins the lobby, whenever somebody is ready because they staked their buy-in or maybe they left the game, the agent is always notifying the group chat about it, as well as when it comes to an end. So it's congratulating the winner, it's showcasing the leaderboard as Claudia was showing earlier. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. It's very quick, type of game, like 2 minutes round usually. So happy to see you playing it out. And if you have any feedback, please come to me.
It's very addictive, especially if you do like a high buy-in. What's the highest buy-in you've done?
I think like we've seen like chain. We did a high buy-in at the beginning. I don't remember how much it was, like 100 USDC, probably, if not 1,000. And then I sent you them back because it was very high.
Nice. Are there any features you're planning on adding to Squabble, or like what do you think is next for Squabble?
I think like the inline actions that you were also showcasing
Yep.
are a good way to improve the agent experience. Because right now with Squabble you can only interact by typing, which is fine. But the buttons are a good way to help people creating the first game or setting things up.
Yeah, that could be good for the buy-in. Awesome. Thanks so much, Limon.
Thank you.
Next we have Matteo from Rocky.
Hey everyone, I'm Matteo, and I want to introduce you to Rocky. I'm sure everyone's used it by now. It's been helping everyone with their scheduling, adding people to groups, sending out reminders, broadcasts, and just helping everyone have a better experience here at the event. The story started a couple weeks ago at the On-Chain Summit Hackathon in San Francisco. I built the first version of the event agent there, the Summit Concierge Agent. Connected with base devs, other base builders, and after the event, I started shaping the agent specifically for BaseCamp. And that's kind of how Rocky was born. The idea behind Rocky is simple. Every event needs an agent. If we think of events as mass onboarding experiences for base in the base app, the best way to make, then agents would be the best way to make that onboarding seamless. BaseCamp, Rocky's been supporting attendees with questions around the schedule, sending broadcasts, and helping guests join groups. The agent works with both natural language requests and quick actions to help keep the flow smooth and keep people on track. Whether it's pulling up sessions, dropping people right into group chats where they can discover other agents like Flaunchi, Banker, Bracky, it's a good way to connect and kind of give exposure to the other agents in the base ecosystem by creating those groups, adding people to the groups, and it's just kind of working as that infrastructure or connector. And this agent isn't just for BaseCamp. I can adapt it really easily. And here at BaseCamp, actually, I've connected with DevConnect, Doge Day, Base South Korea, and all of these events should have an agent. On Base. So, that's Rocky, like a small hackathon project that turned into, this. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Cool. Next up is Mamo, Luke.
Yeah, let's just talk about it. Okay, so first of all, my name's Luke. Many of you know me. I was the founder of Moonwell like 4 years ago, and I'm also the founder of Mamo like, 6 months ago. So just a quick origin story, like in DeFi summer 2020, when we were all locked down and I was working at Coinbase launching staking rewards, we started degenerating on a bunch of food coins like, Yam and Yearn and like SushiSwap, and like, it was a really magical experience, but at the same time as everyone was locked down and like people were dying from COVID, like we were making lots of money like farming airdrops. And I learned a lot about traditional finance just in the crash course of DeFi summer. So my friends told me like, hey, you turned your Bitcoin, your 100K of Bitcoin into like, 7 figures really quickly. Like, why don't you create a fund? And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I'm a builder. So I always wanted to create like a robo-advisor like 5 years ago that could basically learn what I learned, which is the power of compound interest. And like, you don't need to like degen like the bros at the sports betting thing. You can actually just like dollar cost average and do all those healthy habits that we all are told to do, like flossing and brushing your teeth, which is like put $100 of every paycheck into like, a USDC stablecoin vault that's lending to Bitcoin borrowers on Coinbase, and like you're earning 2 or 3x the rate of inflation, and like just doing that and stacking that for $100 a week or a month or whatever you can afford out of your paycheck, you're going to ultimately do better than all those degens that at the sports betting or trading memes or like trading call options on Robinhood. Because those guys might make $10,000 one day, but then they lose $100,000 next month when the markets crash. So I distilled my 5 years of yield farming expertise that helped me grow from like 6 figures to 8 figures, and then, more now. And then when I was at Coinbase, into Mamo Agent. And we launched at the Coinbase AI Hackathon. I think it was just an idea, and I told my team, I was like, hey, the Coinbase AI Hackathon is next week. And we have like a team of, now it's like 20 devs, mostly in Brazil. I was like, do you guys want to come participate with me? And some of them were on summer holiday because, in January, it's like the summer holiday, and if you have kids, that's when they're out of school. But half of them joined me, and they were just like, yeah, let's show up and just like be at Coinbase. And now we're a venture-backed team, and we raised $25 million 4 years ago when I left Coinbase. But we have resources you don't have. But the fun thing was, like, all of a sudden, my entire team that had built Moonwell, like, over the last 3 years was, like, super engaged. We were building the future of AI, and we were like, and it resonated in one of the hackathons. We're like, we have to make this into a product. And half my team was like, why are you building AI agents, Luke? Like, you were building Moonwell for 4 years. What the fuck? Sorry for the language. But so we kind of learned a lot just by kind of, going deep on what should an agentic experience look like. And the short version was, Moonwell was created to make lending simple because early DeFi apps were too hard to use. But as nice as Moonwell is, your mom probably couldn't use it without asking you, like, what wallet do you use? Do I use Coinbase wallet? Okay, how do I download it? What's the seed phrase? Like, all these things that Coinbase is solving with TBA, they're still not solved problems. And so the idea is that Mamo is your personal finance agent, not your crypto agent, but finance, meaning it should be very simple for someone that has never used a crypto app. You can just say, go to mamo.bot or or talk to Mamo in the Base app and just say, and ask it a question like, hey, where does the yield come from? Well, there's Bitcoin borrowers on Coinbase that will pay twice the rate of inflation because they want to go buy a Lambo. And like, your mom doesn't really need to know that because really it's just stable coins. And it's the safest possible collateral because it's all regulated and it's approved and it's like now legal with the passage of the Genius Act. And so like you can get twice the rate of inflation by just lending it to some Bitcoin bro that wants to go buy a Lambo or a Rolex, right? But, or more likely, an elder millennial like me that just bought Bitcoin a few years ago and has been holding it this whole time and maybe wants to send their kids to college. And so that's where the yield comes from. But then most people don't need to know that. It's just like, hey, I deposit dollars into this thing. I can on-ramp up to $500 through my Visa debit card. So I can go from Bank of America paying 0% to Mamo with $500 in the Base app in like a few minutes or less. And then the Mamo agent will just talk to me and say like, hey, here's how your money grew in the last week. Way to go, keep it up. And so it's gamifying, kind of like making this experience that people don't even really have to think about whether it's crypto or not. It's just money because we've gone from like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but July 18th, we went from being the crypto economy to just being the economy. And everything is changing really rapidly. That's what Jesse was talking about. So we just want to make Mamo like an app for normies, but also it's also an app for degens like me, who now I can just like, basically the key insight we had is just like I built staking at Coinbase is that, you know, staking needed delegation in the early days because you can't just delegate $100 billion to the Coinbase validator node and hope that it never loses your Solana or whatever, or your Cosmos or your Tezos or your Ethereum. But agents need delegation. And so we designed Mamo with a smart contract system, just kind of like what you guys are building with session keys, where, you know, you give the agent limited rights so it can move you between vaults and markets to make sure you're always earning the best rate on your USD coin or your Bitcoin. But then you have control. Your funding wallet, whether it's TBA or some other wallet, like MetaMask or even Phantom or whatever, is the only thing that can withdraw. And so for most people, that's going to be, normies, it's going to be a social login or it's going to be TBA. And then for early crypto people like me, it might actually be a ledger that's secured in a physical location across town. And now I can actually put $2 million of my own stablecoins or my own Bitcoin in Mamo and can constantly compound. And it will give me like nice words of encouragement, like, way to go, keep it up, you earned $50 last week, compounding. And by the way, I made sure you were always earning the best rate, so put your portfolio on autopilot. And then what are we building in the future that I'm really excited about? Because TBA is still early days, you probably noticed that like we don't have the typing indicator like a Telegram bot does. And a lot of my team actually trade on Telegram bots because like some of them are degens, like I'm not, I don't have time to, I'm building stuff. But some of my team actually trade memes on Solana and they use like Banana Gun bot or, you know, BonkBot. If you guys have ever, if you were early meme coiners on Solana, you probably use BonkBot. And those things have been built for 5 years. So they have more sophistication, but like they have a typing indicator when you ask. We don't have that, so we had to build the eye emoji. I love the idea of using a handshake emoji to like confirm a trade. For a trading bot, that's awesome because you can just do one clap instead of typing like yes, confirmed or something. And so we're trying to think of ways to make it more friendly because frankly, the Telegram bot's a little bit ahead of us, but we're rapidly catching up. And then the idea we had that we're gonna launch really soon is nice little P&L statements that people like to reshare those. So if you've ever traded like memes on Pump Fun or Meteor or any of the, like, I don't know, I don't really trade memes, but I have friends that do. You get these nice P&L statements and people love resharing those and those can make your apps go viral. So if you're a trading app or you're anything related to money or even just like a cool, cozy, casual game and you wanna share like your house or something, because eventually, sorry, I get really excited. You gotta wrap up. But eventually, long term, we're gonna have Mamo share your P&L statements, and then we're gonna have a character studio. This is something coming later in the year. We wanna make a cozy, casual game, kind of like Stardew Valley, but where you can have a Mamo universe. But that'll come like next year, because it'll take months for us to build, and that's why we're hiring. So if you wanna work on like cozy, casual games that help people learn good financial habits, and help onboard the normies, like the millions of users, not just the few thousand degens like me, come talk to me and I'd love to connect with you and figure out how our agents can work together and how we can build the best apps on TBA. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Luke. Okay, 2 more demos. Sam from Byte's going to come up next. Feel free to talk or share.
Yeah, sure. Hey everyone, I'm Sam, Achilles Hodl.base.eth on TBA and Farcaster. I'm co-founder of Byte AI. So Byte, you chat with Byte and order pizza delivered right to your doorstep, pay with USDC right in the chat with a simple approved transaction. So the idea is making it as simple as possible for users to navigate restaurants near them, place a food order, get it delivered to their doorstep. Right now we're partnering with Domino's across all locations around the US, and really looking forward to like more agentic experiences like Shane was talking about. Like we have the user's order history, we have their food preferences, so doing like automated reach out notifications to the user on the times of days and the days that they typically place orders, and just coming with a prepackaged cart for them, so all they gotta do is hit approve and get it delivered right to their door. And then group chats as well. I mean, Claudia and the team are extremely helpful. It's just a really great builder experience. But we've talked about ways to, enable Byte in group chats where I can send pizza to my friend. I don't need to know their address, right? We're non-friends. And it'll just go ahead and pay with my wallet, but send the pizza to where my friend is, right in the group chat. And yeah, so that's what we're working on with Byte. And
Yeah.
then also, looking to expand to more restaurants. GoPuff is a service that we're partnering with and looking to expand to them. And then also talking to Yum Brands to enable Byte to place orders at all 58,000 locations worldwide. So I think a big thing we've got is like, there's a lot of people outside of the US that want to use Byte. And so we're looking forward to, enabling it across the world.
Awesome. I'm really excited about Byte too, because I feel like soon you can just automate your orders entirely. Like if I want to order like a large cheese pizza every Friday, I can just do that, and like it'll have like access to my account at some point where it's with spend permissions, where it can just execute on its own. Yeah, so it's like very hands off.
The spend permissions is cool. I know we
Yeah.
talked about that early on. Yeah, we do that other places. So.
Yeah, very exciting. Thanks so much, Sam. Cool. Last but not least, Tim from Bracky.
Hey guys, Tim from Bracky. I'm the token sports betting bro in the audience. So I'm actually would like to begin just sort of describing what Bracky does and like what problem he's solving generally, and then to think about like how we think about messaging, like the messaging experience fitting into what Bracky does. And then I'll just talk about like a couple things as we've developed of like kind of special challenges that we've encountered in messaging, building our agent for messaging as opposed to like existing in the social feed. So first, Bracky, just very simply, he's like an old school bookie, so before sports betting sites existed, you had to go to like Tony Soprano's henchman and place your football bet. You had to find somebody to be the house and place the bet. And so Bracky is that in the sense that he's a personality that you can talk to in your natural language. But the very cool thing is that Bracky is headless. So you can book those sports orders and sports bets and talk about sports with Bracky anywhere. So we started in Farcaster and Base and then went into XMTP messaging. We just recently launched Bracky on Twitter. And so in any of those spaces, you can say, at Bracky, what's the price for the Cowboys this weekend? And you can figure out what the market is and book a bet directly from the feed. So we have Privy smart wallets that we load with Bracky token for people to use. It's like your free bet on DraftKings or whatever. So you can just say yes to an offer that Bracky makes in the feed, and Bracky will book the bet from your wallet with the free Bracky that you have. So it's about reducing friction of participating in sports betting as much as possible. And to the point like of whether it's good for someone's mom to do it, I think that sports are a very social experience. So the thing that I always think about is like when you're bored at a family party and you don't know what to do, and you have one relative who happened to bet on the game and they're screaming at the TV, And then like everybody starts to kind of come around. Is like, what's this person screaming at? Like, why do they care about this game so much? And then everybody's just into it and seeing what's going to happen. And I think sports are actually super fun as a social experience that we can kind of be inside of together. And so Bracky has allowed us to kind of recreate that fun experience of watching games with people and caring about the games with people inside of these different social feeds. The thing that's exciting about messaging is that obviously like who you're watching the game with is what's making this really different from other sports betting experiences. And so, you know, your mom's not likely to be on Twitter, but you can get your mom into a messaging app. And so, you know, bringing your mom into your group with some of your friends and teaching her through Bracky about how football's working and teaching her how to make the bet while everybody else is doing it and kind of copying that behavior. Basically, messaging group chats can be social while also being more intimate, and you are obviously choosing who's part of that. So I think it's super exciting space where we expect that Bracky will be discovered by people in social feeds like Twitter. Like, why is this guy saying at Bracky max bet on the Steelers? Can I do that? You see other people doing it in social feeds, but you end up using Bracky. This is how Bracky's working in the social feed. So yeah, the problem being solved is like having fun with other people during sports events and reducing the friction of being able to make your first sports bet, reduce it as much as possible, and let you do it with other people socially. And in messaging, I would say that the biggest challenge is like, okay, we made Bracky for the public social feeds, and so he'll respond to all the messages. One of the biggest challenges in building an agent in a group chat is how often do you want the agent to be responding in the group chat, right? So imagine that you have a friend in your group chat and that every time someone said something, your friend always wrote a response. It's kind of annoying and it starts to feel like that person is dominating the conversation. So I think there's a really interesting design space of like, I'm always thinking of agents actually, like my personal opinion is that we don't need to make like a better version of the Delta chat bot, right? It's not needing to be like a better, more super powered version of that. It needs to be like another friend or peer or even super peer like is in our chats with us. Right? And so they should know when to talk and when not to talk, right? They should know what kind of thing would be a fun thing to contribute or what kind of thing would be an annoying thing to contribute. And so I think that that's like a really interesting sort of design space for messaging in particular that's like super important to work on and discover together.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tim. Yeah, Bracky will be live in the Base app later this week.
Yes.
So try it out.
And just so like if you want to play with Bracky, you can already start up a DM with Bracky,
Yep.
mention Bracky in any group chat. And what I would recommend you do is that there's a pickleball tournament today there's 8 teams left. There's a Bracky market for that. Everybody who mentions Bracky, you'll immediately get free Bracky in your wallet that you can start spending instantly. And so ask Bracky to teach you about the teams, teach you about who won yesterday, which teams are undervalued. And you can just have that conversation either in a group chat or in DM or in the feed. Get your free Bracky, make the bet, and then come watch the pickleball. And you can sell if your team is losing and buy another team. So it's actually a pretty fun like end-to-end experience.
Yeah, I like that action item. Let's do it. Cool. Well, that's it. Thanks so much, everyone, for coming. Yeah.